Sure is good to see everybody today. Thank you for coming. Is this light bothering anybody? Okay. Today I want to, the word that God gave me was on obedience and love. You know, those are tough ones. Behaving has never been one of my finer qualities, you know, so obedience is definitely something that God has to work with me daily. I don't know how it works for you, but it's just a constant work that He is in me. And sometimes He wins, sometimes He loses, you know. So, but the main theme in my life is that He always wins. Because I don't like to be out of obedience with God. I don't feel in the right, kind of like when you're a child and you know you've done something wrong and things have to face your parents. You know they love you, but it's not you're just not feeling it. You know what I mean? It's just not right. So there's a love there. There might be something else too. You know, and we don't. That doesn't really change in our lives. As we get closer to God, we tend to get a little more to look at ourselves a little deeper. We try to do what's right, and we don't feel too good when we do what's wrong. And that's just how it is as you're filled with the Holy Spirit. Hopefully today we can clarify a few things, and we can move forward as we need to in the name of Jesus. The definition for obedience is compliance with an order, request, or law, or submission to another's authority. The definition of love, out of the dictionary, is an intense feeling of deep affection. Synonyms of deep affections are fondness, tenderness, warmth, intimacy, attachment, and endearment. In our lives this day and time, it's easy to get caught up in society's definition of love. And I guarantee you, it is not a biblical definition of love. Things have really gotten twisted. The times have cheapened love. We see abusive relationships, we see abandonment of families, divorce, imprisonment, cheating, drug addiction, non-supporters. It just goes on and on. You know, we see, but then again, we still call that love. You know, love is not those things. That is not love. I don't know what that is, but it's not love. Mainly pain, I guess you could say. Love doesn't do those things, and the Bible explains that. And we need to get on course of what love really is biblically, so we can know the difference of what love is not. People think love this day and time is sex. They do. They think that. People think that love is only a feeling and a quick fix, correct? See it all the time. The ever-rising increase in single parents proves this. There was a time ago that there wasn't that many single parents. I mean, literally, if something happened and someone got pregnant, they were going to get married or hung. You know, that's just how it was. You know, things were, and I don't know if that's love either, but things were different. You know, the consequences for your actions were more severe, and now that there is no consequences, people don't hang on to what's right and wrong so much. They're not as strong as it's so easy just to pick up and leave and abandon what you swore to take care of. You know, Planned Parenthood is a prime example of good feelings gone wrong. Very good. There is no love in murder of our children. There's no love in that. I can tell you right now, there is no love whatsoever in murdering our children. Anybody that thinks Planned Parenthood has a good purpose, there is no love in murdering our children. If you read biblically in the Bible, every country that ever murdered their own children, God dealt with severely. Every country. He took out whole nations. He destroyed with brimstone. He destroyed Nineveh. He destroyed all these countries, all these worlds that hurt their own children. He severely dealt with. So I don't think Planned Parenthood was in his plans either. Mostly Planned Parenthood is just convenience, just like a lot of times love is, correct? We see love, convenience, we do things that are convenient right now, and later they become inconvenient, so we have to make drastic plans, and then Planned Parenthood comes into play. What I want to teach today is about real love. And it's not just about Planned Parenthood, that's just some examples. That's not really although I could go on and on about that. But in Mark 12, 28, 30 through 31, Jesus is asked what the greatest commandment is. One of the teachers of the law came and heard them debating, noticing that Jesus had given them a good answer. He asked him of all the commandments, which is the most important. Jesus said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. And then Jesus went on to say, the second is this, love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these. Jesus has made it very clear what is the greatest for us to obey in the kingdom of God. It's love, isn't it? It's biblical love. Let's see what Paul says about love. 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7. Love is patient, love is kind, love does not envy or boast, it is not arrogant or rude, it does not insist on its own way, it is not irritable or resentful, it does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Paul goes on to say in verse 8, that love never ends. Paul says that prophecies, tongues, and knowledge will pass away. But he told that our love never ends. You know, we see a lot of times where love turns into hate. Was it really love? Was it commutable? Was it both people with the same agreement in love, or was it one person more than the other? You know, love never ends. So if the love is common, and it ends in that kind of strife, then maybe it wasn't based on biblical love. That could be the problem. Another thing I see in this is that the pure, honest love that we have will be forever. The Bible says it will be forever. This makes love the only emotion we have that's eternal and forever. We don't take the emotion or knowledge of hate, selfishness, and anger. We only keep love forever, all the way into eternal life. So those things won't go with us into eternal life. There's no room for love, anger, and hate in heaven. That tells me that in heaven we will know our loved ones and they will know us. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that confidence in knowing that? If you ever wondered, you know, Paul kind of clarifies that love's eternal. So what we really love, what is eternal, even after death. It's the only thing that carries on the rest of our life. Now let's talk about the fruit of the Spirit. Now fruit is a good thing. Everybody likes a tree with fresh ripe fruit, right? It's nice. It's nice when you're a little hungry and you can grab a big old juicy apple or a pear or a grapefruit or something that's fresh. You just feel good about that. That's something good that brings happiness to us and joy. It's not like thorns that we can grab. That brings no joy, you know, but the fruit would bring joy. And the fruit of the Spirit is about bringing joy. It's about how we bring joy to our neighbors, to each of us around us, how we should really live. That's what it's about. In Galatians 5, 22 and 23, Paul goes on to say, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And that's the theme of this sermon today, is going to be about self-control. Against such things there is no law. So if we have these attributes in the fruit of the Spirit, then there's no judgment. What does the law bring? The law brings judgment, right? A judge judges by the law. God judges by the law. If you have these spirits of the fruit, there is no law, there is no judgment, and these are things you can practice every day that's just a blessing to all that are around you, that also gets you blessed because there is no judgment against you. Let's talk about the fruit of the Spirit. The Word of God says that you can tell a tree by its fruit. A tree that doesn't produce fruit is a bad tree, and a tree that produces good fruit is a good tree. That's what the Bible says. In Mark 11, 12, 14, and 20, we see that Jesus curses a fig tree. The next day as they were leaving Bethany, Jesus was very hungry. Seeing in the distance a fig tree and leaf, he went to find out if it had any fruit. When he reached it, he found nothing but leaves, because it was not the season for the figs. In other words, they weren't there yet. Then he said to the tree, "May no one ever eat fruit from you again." In the morning, as they went along, they saw the fig tree withered from the roots. Peter remembered and said to Jesus, "Rabbi, look, the fig tree you cursed has withered." You know, a long time I felt sorry for this fig tree. Don't you kind of feel sorry for this poor fig tree? You know, I thought this poor tree was ruined only because it wasn't time for the figs to produce fruit yet. But then I didn't know as much about fig trees as I know about fig trees now. I had to find out what was going on with this poor fig tree. Let me tell you what I now know. Fig trees' fruit grows at the same time as the leaves. So if you see leaves, you're supposed to have figs on the tree. What Jesus knew was, although that this tree looked like a fig tree, acted like a fig tree, it was a phony. That's what he knew. Kind of like people that look like Christians. They have big crosses around their neck. They have fish on their car. They go to church. They talk like Christians. Everything says Christians, but they produce no fruit. We've met those, haven't we? But then this same person cuts off a handicapped person to be first in line at the Walmart with a big cross around their neck. Seen that person, haven't we? Might even been one of them people time or two. They lay on the horn when someone cuts them off on the highway, and a few other things they lay on. Right? With fish on the back of the car. They treat their waitress like a second-class citizen at the restaurant, and then they don't even tip. As a matter of fact, this person looks for a reason not to tip. They don't bring fruit, they bring pain. Do you see the difference? That's not a fig tree, is it? It's a phony fig tree. There's no figs. There's no fruit. It's the same tree that Jesus cursed. Does any of this sound like the fruit of the Spirit? Love, joy, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control? It's not, none of that is it? So guess what happens? There's judgment when we're not in that. There's judgment when we act the other way. This is what you call a fig tree with leaves and no fruit. A Christian with leaves and no fruit. It's a phony. And a phony fig tree is a cursed fig tree, not a blessed fig tree. Right? Could you imagine the blessing that tree would have had if it would have had fruit for Christ? How would you like Christ to come to your house and you don't have anything prepared for him? The Bible says a tree is known by its fruit. Luke 6:43 and 45. For a good tree does not bear bad fruit, nor does a bad tree bear good fruit. For every tree is known by its own fruit. For men do not gather figs from thorns, nor they gather grapes from a bramble bush. A good man out of the good treasures of his heart brings forth good. And an evil man out of the abundance of the heart brings forth evil. For out of the abundance of his heart his mouth speaks. So we are judged by the fruit we do produce, and we are judged by the fruit we don't produce, correct? So I guess you could say we are figged if we do, and we're figged if we don't. So we might as well just be judged for producing good fruit. Now let's talk about kindness. The Word of God says that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. We either speak carefully or we don't. How we act and what we say is a choice we make. It is a choice. The things we do and say are a choice. We do have time to not say the hurtful things we say. We do have time to stop things before they come forward out of us. The Word of God says, be grateful, be happy in all things. Let me tell you a secret. Being happy is a choice. And not being happy or angry is also a choice. Choice you have to make. We all know when we are getting angry, we can feel it start to burn inside of us. I can feel it in my chest. The trick is for me to keep it from going from my chest to my lips. If I can keep that back, then I'm showing the fruit of the Spirit. It's not that I won't get angry, it's that my anger doesn't come out and say something I shouldn't be saying, that there's no fruit in, there's no blessing in, there's no providence in, there's no hope in, just anger and misery. Because that's when we have regrets, isn't it? That's when out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, if we don't stop it before it makes it to the lips. That's what they're talking about. We don't want the abundance of something horrible coming out of us, when we should have the abundance of something good coming out of us. We have a choice to stay angry or let it go. It's a choice. We have that choice. We can decide whether we're going to be angry or we're not, how long we keep it or we're not. We can just keep momentum into some horrible, ugly thing. And it usually happens when it comes out the mouth. Someone else gets offended. They think, you wronged them, I wronged you. Who's right, who's wrong? You know, no one's winning. Is there any joy in that? Is there any fruit being produced? The people that are stuck on I can't help it are the ones the devil has a hold on. He's got to believe, convinced of this. If we can say I can't help it, we can also decide and say that I can't help it. You know, it's a simple way that just I can't, take the T off and put I can't help it. And as soon as you tell yourself you can help it, you can help it. You ever notice that you're in a decision of whether you want to help somebody do something or not? You're thinking, well, you're sizing up and you say, I can help you do that. Well, all of a sudden, you can help them do that, can't you? You need to commit yourself to I can help it. We do have a choice to help. We have lots of choices and we can decide how we handle things. You can decide today that you're going to be happy and in a good mood no matter what. And you can put on your attitude of gratitude. You can make that decision today that you will be happy under no circumstances. And this is what God put on me on the way back from prison. As I see men in there that were happy that shouldn't be happy. You see, the amazing thing about going to the prison is you think that I think I'm going to minister to them. It's far from the case. The ministry comes to me. You know, but I see people happy that have really no reason to be happy. Who wants to be happy in prison? Raise your hand. I mean, I can't. But they are happy. They know the Lord. The Lord has set them free. And I realized, as God told me, that my happiness was up to me. No one else could decide. A situation wasn't going to change it. I had to decide to be happy. It was completely up to me. And it is up to you. You can decide to be happy or you can decide not to be happy. Either way, you're going to be one thing or the other. So put on your attitude of gratitude no matter what the devil throws at you. One of the fruits of the Spirit is peace. Do you know why Jesus could calm a storm? You ever thought about that? Because he knew peace. He could calm anything. He created peace. He knew peace. He was peace. He is peace. A person who doesn't know peace, who has turmoil coming out of their mouth all the time, will never calm a storm. As a matter of fact, they'll just make a storm. They'll create a storm. How do you know peace? You know the Word of Jesus. You know the Word of Christ. You know the Word of God. The Word of God is peace. You know the love of God. You learn the fruit of the Spirit. You know the love of the Spirit. You realize what love thy neighbor as thyself means. It's the fruit of the Spirit. It's called kindness. Do you like being treated kind? You treat your neighbor kind. It's called kindness. It's called love. It's called joy. It's called peace. You decide that you're going to be peaceful. You choose gratitude for the blessings that you have. You can be thankful for what you already have. I'm sure things can get worse. Things can always get worse. Okay? They can always be absolutely horrible. They can go from fine to nothing real quick. Be thankful for what we have and everything. Be grateful. Knowing how to act like a Christian is not all that's required. But sometimes you do need to fake it until you make it. It's not every day that you get up and everything seems just fine, but you have to push yourself into that position and accept that everything is just fine. No matter what it is, you know your God's in control. You know Jesus is ahead of you. You know the Holy Spirit is with you. You know heaven's armies are surrounded you and going to protect you and going to get you through this day. And you will make it. You will survive. But that requires work and determination to develop the fruit of the Spirit. You have to work at it. It's not just something you're going to be, I'm saved, I have it, amen. It doesn't work like that. Sometimes it does, but most of the time, you have to work at the fruit of the Spirit. How many times a day do we stop ourselves from saying something that we know we shouldn't say because there's not going to be any fruit in it? Oh, we want to, but we don't. That's called work. Oh, if I could just say what I'm thinking. You know, just beating up inside, but we stop it at our chest, we don't let it make it to our lips. That's the fruit of the Spirit. And that's what we need to practice. That's treating our neighbor like we treat ourselves. Jesus' second greatest commandment after him. Did you know the fastest way to be happy is to help someone else? Did you know that? It's hard to be caught up in your own problems when you're helping someone else with theirs. You just don't have time for it. You don't. Last night we took an Uber, which I've never taken Uber before. I recommend you take it if you need to do anything downtown. We went to the Tobin Center from our house right over by the church for $9.28. Didn't have to worry about parking. He showed up at the house in 4 minutes. When we went there, we walked on down the Riverwalk. We had dinner at a restaurant down there at Lone Star Cafe or something. We called Uber. They were there in 5 minutes. They picked us up. They took us home. It was $11 to get home. I don't know why it cost more to get home. I guess they got you. So I mean, we spent $20. We could have spent $10 or $15 on parking and stressing and worrying. And are we going to be there too long? I mean, come on. Get in the Uber, ride downtown. It's $20 to get there and back. But this is what I noticed on the way over there. I didn't know what the guy was speaking because I don't speak a lot of Spanish. He didn't speak any English. But he doesn't need to speak English because Uber does everything. They send you electronically. You don't even give them money. You put your credit card in and it pays them. You don't do anything. Unless you want to tip them or something, you can. If you want to show them fruit of the Spirit, give them a little bonus because they did a good job, that's okay. That's joy. But what I noticed was on our second ride, there was a gentleman that picked us up. And great ride, great guy, no complaints. But what I did notice is that he asked, do you mind if I make a call real quick? And he called his wife. And there was no fruit of the Spirit in the call, I can tell you that now. She hung up on him, you know. But the thing that I noticed is that he had told her, he said, well, I had 3 calls. But he was helping other people, and as he was helping us, even though I knew he was sad, he was laughing. So while he was helping us, he didn't have time to worry about his own problems. His joy was in laughing and carrying on with us. Now, he was sincerely having a good time with Sister Smith and I. And we were laughing, talking about the Lord, and telling us about his life. And so he didn't have time to reflect on his own problems. You see, so happiness, I seen this in action, and he didn't even know it was in action. But when you're helping someone else, you don't have time to get caught up in your own issues because you're too busy helping other people. Did you know that God gives us all different, do you know the reason that God gives us all different gifts and different needs? Do you know why we're all different? So that we'll need each other. That's why he did it. So that we'll need each other. He could have made us all the same. It would have been easier than making us all different. I guarantee you. You know, you can see that. You know, if you do one thing the same way all the time, it gets routine. But you start mixing it up, doing different things at the same time, it gets complicated. He took the time to make things complicated and made us all different so that we would need each other. Isn't that wonderful that we can need each other and depend on each other? That's why the fruit of the Spirit is so important, because we are different. Every day we should plan on who we can help. If we will do that, and then actually do it, if we will do that, we won't have time to get caught up in our own anguish and anxieties and issues that we have that take us down. You don't have time to worry about what you're worried about if you're helping someone else. You're too busy helping them. The more we get involved in helping someone else, the less we get involved in getting ate up with our own traumas and problems. And that's a blessing. We need to practice the fruit of the Spirit. Kindness is a great expression of love, and love is a great expression of kindness. The bottom line is, with Christ, we all have the tools we need to live a happy and blessed life. It's all in His Word. All we have to do is act on it. The difference between happiness and depression is a choice. You have to decide what you're going to do. You can decide, I'm going to be happy. Devil, you're not going to get me today. I will be happy. Then if you just can't handle it on your own, you go find someone to help, or you don't have time to worry about what the devil's trying to throw on you. We can have our thinking on all that's wrong, or we can have our thinking on all that's right. You don't have to wait until your circumstances are perfect. That's what the Lord showed me. Until you start enjoying your life. You can have it right now as things are. You can start just as things are. You can start now. If you want God to change your circumstances, this is the way it works. First, you need to change your thinking. Then God can change your circumstances. What you don't realize is that God may have put you in the circumstances you're in so you will change. You see that? Why would He change something He's trying to change you with? We must learn to love God with our obedience to His Son, Jesus Christ, and our kindness to others. That's how God knows that it's real, is how we treat each other. We must learn to love God with obedience, remember that, and kindness for others. Remember, it takes work to decide to treat people with love and kindness. It's a choice. Happiness is a choice. Be happy. We have so much to be grateful for, so much to be happy for. I know it's hard, it's difficult. This world, just the pressure is so heavy, it's so strong. There's so many twists and turns, so many things go wrong. There's an awful lot of things that go right. Be thankful for what we have right now, the way we are, for the victories, how subtle they are, no matter if they're little or big, that God gives us. Because God is our victory. Christ is our victory, and He is our power, and He loves you, and He wants to love you, and He wants to love who you love, and He wants to take care of your family, and He wants to take care of your children, and He wants to take care of your wives and husbands and all you care about. He is our victor. He is our victory, and there is victory in Jesus. Amen? Hallelujah. Let us pray. Father God in heaven, we come to you right now, and we thank you so much for the examples and the opportunities that we have in your word to guide us and let us know what we should do. You are wonderful. Your Son is wonderful. We love you. Thank you for your Holy Spirit. Thank you for the barrier angels that stand around us and just keep us in line and watch us and protect us. We have no idea how many times a day you save us. Father God, we ask that you'll be with everybody in here as they go home, as they go back to this week, that you'll bring joy and happiness into their lives, that you'll show them the victory of the cross, that you'll help them to understand just who you are. We ask that you'll be with the babies, all the people as they go to work, and we thank you so much, Lord Jesus. Father God, in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, amen, and hallelujah. Let's give the Lord a hand. Hallelujah. Praise God, and thank you so much, and you have a blessed week, okay? Love y'all. I gotta wait until they call me. I'm still going through the checking thing. I did all my classes now. It takes a couple of weeks, and then they'll call me, and as soon as I'm in, you'll have to go through the same thing I do. They do have classes here that they have every 6 months, but then you'll live, and it's going the way you are, who you are. It'll be life-changing. Life-changing. I know you will. And it's going to be awesome.